tapping into the true potential of the human spirit. This is Humanity Empowered. This is the Implicit Show. What is up? What is up? What is up? And welcome to the Implicit Show. I got a special episode here. We got my bro in the studio. In the Implicit
snap! I'm in the studio.
Look around, bro.
Dude.
Bro, we're in the studio.
It's a nice studio, if I do say so myself.
Guys, this is literally my brother.
Literally, like we came out of the same thing. We came into this world because of the same lovely human being. Thank you, Mom.
We're basically the same person, but like way different. Just copied versions of each other. Like popping out at different times. Anyways, Cameron,
don't know where you were going with that. But.
Anyways, Cameron, he's a musician. We played in a band together for years, 7 years, 8 years. I don't know. We just played music. He was the drummer. I was the guitar player and singer. And what else? Okay, yeah, let's sit like that, buddy.
I like it like this.
I like it like this. And what else do you do other than musician? You're a filmmaker. He also makes all sorts of cool videos. The intro for the show you just saw, it said, "Welcome to the Implicit Show." Yeah, that was Cam.
It's my voice and everything.
Yeah, Cam's really good at that kind of stuff. Yeah. And finally, you know, he's a comedian in a way. You know, he makes comedic videos for, you know, kids and people and friends. And
our main demographic is like ages 18 to 27, I think, something like that.
Is it?
Yeah,
I don't
like
have a hard time believing
70% of our viewers are in that age group.
Well, yes, so Cam's a musician guy and stuff. Cam, man, why don't you give us like a quick little introduction about yourself?
Well, let's be real here. This is the third time we've tried going live. There was some difficulties. But last time I just said I'm a guy who finds really like a deep sense of meaning out of dick and fart jokes. And that's just it basically, it just means like I really, really love stupid humor. Like it's just something that I love so much, and it gives me a sense of purpose. Like making videos, making people laugh. I've done my job in the world. I'm done. You know, like if I could just do that every single day, I'm living my purpose. So that's basically what I do. I was in a band with him for 6 years. What's up, Rachel Johnson? I was in I've started like so many YouTube channels. I've been doing YouTube since I was 11 years old. I made 3 short films last year, and I plan on doing a feature-length film this year. And I'm also in a band called the Couch Surfers, where we surf couches and write music. It's a fun time. So yeah, that's basically what I do, man.
And today's episode, we're going to talk about not caring about what people think, which is seriously, bro, like this is a huge thing for so many people, is it not? Like,
oh, it was huge for me.
The fact,
also?
just people who are like dwelling on the opinions of other people. It could be family members, somebody who love. It could be, if not a family member, maybe it's a coworker or a friend at work, or you know, it's your boss or your kids or your family, whatever. We always, like, a lot of people, they tend to dwell on what other people think of them, and they let them stop them from doing the things that they want to do with their lives. So let's get into that right away, man. Like, let's bring the value.
So I'll just tell my story, like how I stopped caring what people think. I used to really, really care too much. Like I would want to look good all the time. I would want everybody around me to like me. I didn't want any haters. I wanted to please the entire world. And obviously that's not realistic. So 2 years ago, I said I was in a band with him. 2 years ago is when the band called it quits. So, you know, and basically how it happened is we were going on a tour or something like that, and I started up a YouTube channel again, started doing YouTube comedy, and I realized how much of a passion I have for it. And I stopped really thinking about the band. The only problem is everybody I knew was so proud of me. A lot of people were only my friends because I was in this band. And everybody loved me because I was this drummer. I was a rock star, whatever. And I quit in a heartbeat because I was so busy thinking about myself. It sounds like a dick move, but like I was just busy.
It's definitely a dick move.
Yeah, okay, whatever. But no, I was just busy focusing on what I want for once, rather than focusing on what pleases everybody else. I focus on what I want for once, which is I want to make videos. That's like what I want to do. So I started doing that. And so I quit the band for YouTube comedy again. And everybody was so disappointed in me, and I feel like everybody's still disappointed in me, to be quite honest. Yeah, like everybody around me. Like I'm not gonna name any names, but like everybody was just like, dude, like what are you doing? You're throwing your life away. You're making a stupid decision. Why don't you think about it? Like you're dumb. Blah blah blah. What you do isn't even funny. Your stuff sucks anyways. You might as well just stay in the band. You're going nowhere. And I'm not gonna lie, it sounds really brutal, but I just laughed. I did what this kid's doing right now. I laughed because
This kid.
yeah, you're a child. So am I. We're children of God. No, I just laughed because honestly, when you're so excited about something, like I'm so excited about this YouTube, I was really, really pumped to just start making videos again, start making people laugh, start gaining a following through that, and changing lives through comedy. I was really excited for that, and so I didn't really care what people thought. I was just like, you guys don't understand. It's fine. I get it. You don't understand. Like they just don't. Like when somebody comes up to you and says, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing that. You're going nowhere in life." They just don't understand. That's all it is. And they don't understand how passion is. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Like I used to care so much, and all of a sudden I didn't care the slightest bit. Not even the slightest bit. I was just like, because even Brennan, he hated me for a long time. But then he's probably the only person I ever explained it to until we started talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
I was just like, bro, read this book. It's called Think and Grow Rich. And I want you to read it because basically what it did is showed me, hey, sure, you have this passion for YouTube. At that time, I didn't think it was possible. Think and Grow Rich taught me how to make that my living. Make that my...
You're possible.
Yeah, exactly.
See, it's funny you say that because like at the time I was super pissed because we were in the band together and Cameron didn't do much. Like if you're being honest, Cam, all you did was play the drums. You did not put a lot of effort in the band, and I felt like I was putting in all my effort. I was giving it my all. I was 100% in it, and that's all I really cared about. And so when you quit the band, I was upset because I was like, dude, like I do everything. All you got to do is play the drums. Can't you just play the drums, shut up, and be happy? Like what the hell? And so after he quit the band, I went into a depression because it was tough for me because part of it was I was worried what other people would think because it's like, well, I had spent so many years invested in this one thing that mattered so much to me, and I knew it had an impact on people. I knew we were really doing something good with our lives. And so it was tough for me to just let that go. Mm-hmm. And I was afraid of what people would think. Like you said, like people around us, our fans, our family, our friends, they were all kind of like, what is going on? You guys were on such a roll. You guys had so much momentum. You guys were making it happen. Like you guys like we were maybe a year or 2 years before having a record label and just like going off and like kicking ass with our music, with this band. But deep down, none of us were really fulfilled with it. Mm-hmm. Right? We were succeeding. We were doing well. But we weren't fulfilled at the end of the day. And that's the biggest thing I think that a lot of people are trapped in right now is they have this thing that they're doing, this band, this job, this career path, this school, this family, whatever it is, and it's not bringing them any fulfillment. And they're afraid to admit it. They're afraid to say, like, I know I was afraid to admit it. I was like Cameron, he was the first to say, like, yeah, this band is not bringing us enough fulfillment. It's not working. We're not running the band properly.
We're not
all
happy.
These things. We're not happy. All these things. So yeah, I'm gonna quit. But I wasn't ready to admit I wasn't happy because I knew we were succeeding. I was like, man, we're succeeding. We're doing good things. Like we got to keep it up. But yeah. So when you finally quit the band, I was pissed off. Mm-hmm. I was angry. I told you I'd kill you. I was totally upset. And I went to about 20 days of deep depression where I just sat in my room and did like nothing, basically. This is like Dr. Phil. It is, man. Truth does come out, Rochelle. But yeah, it's like I was totally upset with Cam, totally pissed. But after I read Think and Grow Rich, it was hilarious because it really kind of opened my mind to realize that you were right. And I didn't want to admit you were right because you're my younger brother. And I was like, oh.
But at that point, you didn't care what I thought. You didn't care what anybody else thought. You were just like, yeah, no. He's right. I'm wrong. Like
it's totally. And it was that book that helped me do it. And I think the first step to really not caring about what people think is really knowing yourself more than anything, right? Like you had to think of the journey you had to go on within to really realize that this wasn't something you wanted to do. It wasn't just some day that was like, oh yeah, whatever, like I don't want to do this. No, it was like you had to sit there and be like, wow, like who am I? Easy decision, who am I really? Yeah, because once you know who you are really, you know, once you understand yourself, you have that, you know what your passions are, you decide what your purpose is. That's when you could go into any direction you want to go in. So tell us a little bit about that, man. Like that split decision. Like you said, it was like one moment I cared about what people thought, and the next moment I didn't care at all. One night. So like how did you make that shift, first of all, and how could our listeners make that shift? Because this is, you know.
So I had a passion that I wanted to pursue. I didn't know what to do, and I thought it wasn't possible. I didn't believe in myself, and I didn't think it was going anywhere. And then I listened to Think and Grow Rich, 10-hour audiobook, and I came out of it quitting the band and going full force on a YouTube channel. That's all it was. Like Napoleon Hill, the author, just basically outlines what it takes to be successful and how, like, the amount of opportunity every single person has, but he always talks about the one thing called burning desire. And if you don't have a burning desire, then you'll never achieve great success. And I knew right away, I was like, all right, I have a burning desire, like I want it so bad. So it was such an easy decision after I found out that it was possible. Because, like, I've been told that the band was going to be the way to go. You know, the band's going to be successful, so don't leave the band. But then when I found out the YouTube was going to be successful, I was like, all right, I'm just going to go do the YouTube. Sorry, guys.
How old were you when you made that decision?
I was 16.
See, that's the thing that I think a lot of our listeners and a lot of people you tell the story to who are kind of like, yeah, well, come on, bro, you were 16. Like, I'm 30 or I'm 40 or I'm 50. I got a family. I got a corporate, like I got a job I've been at for years. Like, how do I just get up and change my life like that?
See, I would say it's a lot slower of a process in that way. Because I had no responsibilities. I live with my parents. No bills, no job, just school. That's it, right? But some people have kids. They have a job. They have bills. They have car insurance. They have health insurance. They have house insurance. They have just like so much to pay for, so much to take care of.
Lives.
So yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, in that case, it's a much slower process, but you should still do it like 100% because.
Totally. That's the thing. I find for people who are, say you're 40, this is a random number, and you don't know what you want to do with your life, or you know maybe you've been working a job, maybe you've taken a certain career path, and it's just not bringing you any happiness or fulfillment. Right? You have to take that inner journey and think like, is this something I really want to do? Or why am I doing this? Am I doing this just for a paycheck? Am I doing this because I need, to provide for my family? Or am I doing this because it's something that I love to do and it brings me happiness and joy? Am I doing this because it brings me purpose and fulfillment? That's one thing. Like we had a debate earlier about this, not earlier, but like a couple of weeks ago about this, the difference between purpose and passion, right? And I think you really need both. So what Cam's saying here is like you have to find what it is you're so passionate about that it basically lights a fire within you so that you could push through any of the tough times, and it just brings you happiness and joy. It brings you that level, just like, yes.
And in my context, dude, I have so many people who hate what I do. Like there's so many people who are just like disgusted by what I do.
I'm not even that into it. I'm really not. Like,
no, I know. I understand.
I support you because you're my brother and I love you.
Yeah.
But what you're doing, like the type of comedy, the type of videos you make aren't something that I'm into. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I still support you because you're my brother and I love you, but I'm honest when I say like, it's not my thing.
It's fucked.
And it's not going to be.
Let's get real here. It's fucked up.
It's not for everybody.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But this guy right here, Cam, your YouTube vids are awesome. Don't listen to the haters. See, there are people who resonate with that kind of comedy. The offensive, sexual dick and fart jokes, the gross, stupid humor. People, people are into that. And a lot of people hate it. A lot of people look at it and they get disgusted. A lot of people click dislike. A lot of people are just mad at it. And the reason I don't care is because I love it so much. And
that goes for so many things. And like what I was getting at, you're right, man. Purpose and passion. Like your passion is to make those videos. Mm-hmm. It's like to make people laugh. It's fun, right? But what makes it fulfilling is when you add a purpose to it, right? Like you said, I think at the beginning of the video, you said something along the lines of like, if I can make people smile, if I can make them laugh for 1 second, if I could put a smile on their face, then boom, like that's my purpose. I fulfilled it, right? Mm-hmm. And for so many people who are in their job right now, they just don't see any kind of passion or purpose in what they're doing, and so they're just super unfulfilled. Like Bear says here, he says some people cannot see a way out while still fulfilling their responsibilities, and that's so true. You know what I mean? It's like they're stuck in this job, and they have to stay there because it's responsibility. They're fulfilling some sort of purpose.
I'm not talking about that. What I was talking about is people staying in their job, staying in their comfort zone because they don't want to hear what other people have to think about it. They don't want to hear the hate. They don't want to hear anybody being disappointed. I don't want to disappoint anybody. I don't want to let anybody down. So I'm going to just stay where I am. And that's what I'm talking about. Sure, there's other reasons. There's reasons like, oh, I need to make money. I have bills to pay. I have mouths to feed, whatever. What I'm talking about is people not going anywhere in life because they're afraid of what people think. That's what I'm talking about.
Afraid of
and I have
judgment,
a whole list here to help you guys realize, don't look at it. It's secret. So I have a whole list here for you guys to realize how you can get out of caring what people think, and so that you're less immobilized and you can actually move. You can actually do what you want. And
let's hear it, bro. Let's get right into it.
Step 1 is to stop judging other people. If you want people to stop judging you, stop judging others. And you could say judging, controlling, just criticizing, hating, just like lay off other people. And you'll realize why it happens. And it's such a waste of time too. Like, just realize that every time you hate somebody, like, they can just brush it off. You can't. Like, you're the person who is resonating on a vibe of hate. Like, I hate you so much. You could be like, all right, bro, but like, I still feel like negative because I've said that, right? So step 1 is just like, no excuses, man. Quit hating anybody. Look, you can obviously not like somebody, but just don't focus on it. Like, there's awful people in the world that I don't like, but I don't focus on them.
Yeah, man. That's like, I try to come from, I tell myself this every day. It's part of my morning ritual, where I tell myself everyone has something I can love or respect about them, even though it may be hidden. And so as a result, I love all humanity. Doesn't mean I like everybody. Doesn't mean I connect with everybody. Doesn't mean I resonate with everybody or agree, but I love them. I come from a place of love for my own sake. Because like you said, you have to hold on to the feelings, right? If you're coming from a place of hate, your hate's not going to come out of you and just like go and travel to the person you hate and then attack them. No, your hate stays here. You have to hold on to that hate in your heart. And so if you come from a place of unconditional love for everybody, then it just automatically, like, dude, weight of the world off your shoulders. And then you can just go on and tackle the next step. So what's the next step?
So when you stop hating others, when you stop judging, criticizing, condemning, complaining about, controlling others, you realize why people do it in the first place. And the reason people do it is because they don't love themselves. Anytime anybody hates you, judges you, and like really goes out of their way to fuck with you, like basically like, Brennan, I hate you and I'm going to make your life a living hell. I'm just going to try my best to just like make you feel like an awful human being because you are one. And I could do that. But like, the only reason I'd ever do that is if I hated myself, if I wasn't doing what I loved, if I was just like bored, if I really didn't have anything to do, anything else to focus on. That's why people do it. There's no other reason. If somebody loves themselves, they have a business or whatever, they have something that they're going for, they're going after something that they're building, a purpose. And if they're busy with that purpose and they're focusing on it, then they would never take the time out of their day. They wouldn't want to take the energy. They wouldn't even like this, like anytime somebody, because obviously things will happen in the moment, right? Somebody like pushes you or something. I don't know if that ever happens, but if that ever happened to me, I would literally just laugh and move on. Okay.
Like, I just wanted to test that.
No, but like, I would literally laugh at their existence and then never focus on them ever again. It sounds like a really mean thing to do, but it's like, it's what, it's like, never think about it ever again. But yeah, like I said, you realize why people hate. Every time somebody hates on you or like tries their hardest to make you feel awful, realize what's going on in their brain. They must be hurting inside. They must have a weak heart. They must, like, it takes a weak heart to judge one another. It's a song. It's a good song. Listen to it. I don't even know what it's called. But no, they must be going through some stuff. Obviously, I mean, like, that goes without saying, but a lot of people don't realize that. So, where else? Where were we?
I have no idea. I'd like to acknowledge Bears has some comments in here. He says, when I left my job, I told no one I was going to do it because I didn't want their opinions. I knew they would say I'm crazy. I was crazy. Then after I left, instead, they all said how great what I did was. If there's something that a person fears, they will fear the same thing for you. It's a good point, man. Like, and that's the thing, like you're saying, if you're trying to leave your job and you're trying to go pursue something different, you're going to tell people, and people, they're automatically going to tell you their fears. You're like, oh yeah, but like, what about this? What about money? What about what people are going to think? What about family? What about your security? What about this? What about all the progress you've already made? So that's a good point, Bears. What else have you got written on your page there?
So we've got, dang it. Stop hating others, right? Stop focusing on that. Love unconditionally. And even if you don't feel like it, just quit focusing on it then. Like if you really can't love this person or like appreciate this person, then just quit focusing on it. It's as easy as that. And realize what they're doing and why they're doing it. Why people tell you you're crazy. Why people make fun of you. Why people go out of their way to like stop what you're doing or mess with you or whatever. It's because they're hurting inside and they don't like their life. They don't love themselves. They don't whatever. And I'd say the next one is love yourself. Because when you begin to love yourself, you don't care what people think. Because you realize that the only opinion that matters is your own opinion about yourself. Because nothing else can affect your life except your own opinion. See, I could tell you that your hair sucks and you should shave it. Unless he takes that to heart and makes it his own opinion and like embodies that, that's when it creates a change. That's like when he makes it his opinion, that's when it creates a change, right? So shave your head. Looks dumb. So yeah, there's that. Love yourself, and then you'll realize that the only opinion that matters is your own opinion about yourself. What I have up here next, the last one, is just like, I guess the ending. What was it? So it's a Wayne Dyer thing. He says, follow the beat of your own drum, not somebody else's drum. Because like somebody else might be like, hey, you should be doing this. You're going to this school. You're going to get this scholarship. You're going to get this job and you're going to live here. But what I'm saying is do what you want to do, regardless of what people think. Because like I said, I get it daily where people are just like ridiculing me. And I'm guessing every comedian in history has gotten it, right? Oh, that's an offensive joke. That's offensive. Oh, that's gross. That's disgusting. That's weird. I don't like what you do. You should stop doing this. Whatever. But I also get daily messages from people saying, dude, your stuff is hilarious and I absolutely love it and I can tell the amount of effort you put in it. So you have to choose what to focus on. But yeah, follow the beat to your own drum. Quit listening to other people and their opinions or whatever, and just believe what you believe, because that's what the Buddha said. He said, don't believe anything. He said, believe nothing that anybody else says. Only believe it when you've tried it, when you've...
You know, I was watching a video last night. I think it was like Elliot Hulse, video, and he was talking about, I think the title was like, how to not care about what people think, or something like that, along those lines. And he said a huge tip would be to just detach from any opinion. Do you know what I mean? So somebody comes up to you and they say, Cameron, your video is so freaking amazing, man. You've done so well. It's so good. Like, it made me laugh and you saved my life and I was on the brink of suicide and you changed my life, blah, blah, blah. It was so amazing. Okay? Now, what that'll do is it'll feed your ego. If you accept it, if you're like, yeah, totally, like, that's cool. And then you get hung up on what that person said. Then there's, on the other hand, someone comes to you and says, that was the worst video ever. You were so stupid. You might as well kill yourself. It's freaking dumb. Like, you're the worst human being ever. Right? That can also, affect your ego. Mm-hmm. So he's talking about, if you really want to not care about what people think, you need to detach yourself from the good and the bad. Detach yourself from, if people are telling you good things, you need to just realize, like, okay, like, this person is telling me good things. That's fine. That's this person's opinion. If somebody's telling you negative things, you got to say the same thing. Okay, this person's telling me negative stuff. That's your thing. You go ahead. And I'm just going to do what I do. I'm just going to do my thing. Right? Whether you like it or you don't like it, I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to, drum to the beat of my song.
No, but who are you doing it for then? Are you doing it for the negative people or are you doing it for the positive people?
You're doing it for yourself. That's what I'm trying to get at.
No, but like I'm not doing it for myself. Because like if I made a video, made it private, never uploaded it, and just like watched it on Friday nights just by myself, that would suck. You know, I'm doing it for those people. Obviously, I'm not going to attach myself to those opinions. I get that. But those are the people I'm doing it for. You know what I mean?
I totally get that. I'm just saying, if when it comes to not caring about what people think, if you're doing it for those people, you're going to care what they think. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, I'm doing this for you. What do you think about it? It's like when you give your mom a gift for Christmas. It's like, Mom, I got you this gift. Like, what do you think? Is it cool? Do you like it? And if, you know, and then you're basically waiting for her response to decide how you're going to respond. You're waiting to see what their reaction is before you react. And what he was saying, like, if you really want to not care what people think, you need to not care about the good things they say and the bad things they say. You can't choose. You can't say, oh, I'm just going to ignore the bad and just stick with the good. You can't. That's not fair. You know what I mean? If you're going to really not care about what people think, you need to not care about the good people saying good things and the bad things that other people are going to say.
I think it matters to care what people think to an extent, though. Like,
well, now you're defeating the whole purpose of the whole episode, Cameron.
No. What I'm saying is, like, you gotta see if there's like constructive criticism and stuff. You know what I mean? Because maybe a negative thing could be like, bro, the lighting here was a little rough. Like, maybe fix that because I couldn't see it on my screen or some shit.
Do you want constructive? That's, hey, if you want that, right? But the episode here is titled "How to Not Care About What People Think." If you really want to not care about what people think, then you need to go all in. You can't just choose, oh, I'm going to care about what some people think.
I disagree.
I'm going to care about what other people think.
I completely disagree. I think it's fine to care about what people think to an extent. You just need to not take it to heart too much. You know what I mean? Like, dude, if I really didn't care what people think, I'd slap you in the face and walk out that door. Naked.
I'm ready to do it.
But no, man, I love you. Of course I care what you think. You know what I mean? Like, of course I care what you think. I care what mom and dad think. I care what the people around me that I really love think. You know what I mean? You have to be happy with the video and not let other opinions affect that you're happy. Absolutely. I agree with that. Because when I post a video, I laugh at it while I'm editing. So, like, I know it's funny. I know it's good. So it's like, whatever people think, that's their experience of it. I thought it was good. I thought it was funny. Like I told you earlier today or yesterday. I was like, yeah, man, I just uploaded a comedy gold video. And you're just like, yeah, whatever. But, like, I literally still do think it's comedy gold. And I'm very proud of it. Whatever other people think of it, I don't really care that much. But it's a confusing topic.
It's subjective. No, it's subjective to different people. I'm saying, like, I'm telling you how to not care about what people think. Because that's the title of the episode. I'm not saying that's what you should do. I'm not saying that's what I'm telling you how to do it. Right? I'm not saying I even do it. I'm not perfect. I care about what people think. Like, I'm doing these videos half the time because I want to affect people's lives. I want to create change in their lives. Would I still be making these kind of videos if people didn't watch them? Maybe. I probably would, because I'm so passionate about personal development.
So if you just didn't upload you'd still be doing this?
What about songwriting? Would I still be interviewing people? Yes, I would, because I learn every time I do it.
No, obviously, but I mean, like, would you sit in a room without technology and just talk to yourself for 30 minutes a day?
I do that anyways. I always talk to myself.
I know.
It's a process. Too. It's a process for me. It's a process of learning. It's a process of conditioning my mind.
I know.
It's a process of learning.
But other people are essential to almost every purpose.
See, I like what this person's saying on Twitch. It's very subjective. I don't understand people who say don't do it for others. It's what motivates me. If I didn't, then I wouldn't.
Yeah. See, some people they do it for them. Some people they do it for others. Some people they do it for both. You know what I mean?
Totally. And what I'm saying is, if you don't want to care what people think, then you need to be not caring about what people think. If it really
messes with you, you're going to want to do that.
If you don't care about what people think, then you're doing it for you and you're not doing it for other people. That's what I'm talking about.
To an extent, though.
To an extent, because I believe that true fulfillment comes from serving others. True fulfillment, like serving others. Obviously, this is like the passion purpose argument again. Passion is like doing what's right for you, doing what's passionate and good for you, and it brings you joy. Purpose, I think, is what, how you're serving others along the way.
And they go hand in hand.
They go hand in hand.
Gives you passion,
right? If you had one without the other, if you had this purpose, to save all these people's lives, and then you were a martyr, and in the entire process you were miserable while saving all these people's lives,
then that's not your purpose. I don't think that's your purpose in that case.
Your purpose is whatever you decide to be.
We're gonna do this again.
But your passion, totally.
We're not gonna have this conversation.
And your passion is like what brings you joy.
Yes, right? I understand that. But let's wrap this around the idea of stop caring what people think.
oh buddy, I don't even care what people think.
Oh man. No, this is for the people who get immobilized, who get anxious, who get stressed, who get overwhelmed by other people's opinions. They feel disappointed when other people are disappointed in them. They feel like an awful human being when somebody says to them, you're an awful human being. It's for those people, man. Obviously, I care about what my viewers think. I'm trying to entertain them. You care about what your viewers think. You're trying to entertain them, right? So there's an extent, but just don't let anybody else give you a negative feeling. Ever. Like, ever. That should never happen. Okay, when I say, Brennan, like, that blue shirt is awful, you look fat today, these tattoos are just the worst, and I hate you and I'm moving out. You know what I mean? I can't make him feel anything. Like it's funny because he could possibly be feeling awful right now. I don't know. Like, who knows? Like, it's unbelievable the amount of power you actually have, the amount of, like, layers you have. Nobody can get through unless you let them in, unless you just, like, open the door and say, hey, man, come in, get in here. And that's when you start feeling something. So don't let anybody say, like, obviously people are going to say things. Like, let them say what they want. They'll be like, oh, you're an awful human being. Just don't feel like an awful human being when they say you're an awful human being. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And, like, I'm just going to reiterate the last thing I said is, like, be wary of who opinions you're looking for, because obviously you care about what people think to some extent. We all do. We're humans. We're social creatures. But, you know, like Cam said, don't let anybody's opinion bring you down or make you feel too negative. And I'd also say, on the other hand, don't let anybody's opinion feel like you're the best person in the world and you're, you know, better than everybody else and you're Jesus to this guy. Like, you get what I'm saying? There's a medium there. You know, if you're going to take the good, then you got to take the bad. If you're not going to take the good, then don't take the bad.
Obviously, stay humble, like, at the end of the day. That goes with everything. But we could talk about humility in another
But don't be
episode.
too humble. Don't be too
Be as humble as you want, man. That's up to you.
Anyways, this has been a fun episode. I always love, like, you know, picking Cameron's buttons and, like, getting him all riled up and starting debates and stuff. So, yeah, it was fun, man.
Yeah.
It was good. If you guys got some value from this, subscribe.
I need to piss really badly, so, like, let's outro this.
Follow. Like our page. Share it with a friend. Share this with somebody who cares about what you think about them.
You know what I care more, though?
You're like, yo, you shouldn't care about what I think about you.
You know what I care more about what they do? Is, like, if you guys can use what you learned.
Yeah.
Like, don't share it unless you've used it. Otherwise, like, it's just a waste, man. Like, use it, man. Because, like, dude, the amount of stuff I've listened to, the amount of books I've read is unbelievable. And I should be a superhuman by now with the shit I've read. Like,
and you've not used a lot of it. Same, man.
Obviously.
There's podcasts I watch all the time where it's like I'm listening to it, I'm intellectualizing it, but I don't actually use it always. Make sure you use this. So go back, listen to it again if you have to. There's some great tips in here. Just, it's really about building self-esteem and building, like, that kind of self-confidence where you don't really, it doesn't matter what other people think of you.
Yeah.
That's all we're trying to say here is, you know, do your thing. Be happy with what you're doing, and maybe along the way you're going to help other people. Maybe along the way you'll serve others. So Cam's got to piss. We're going to let him go. Cam, give him your peace sign. Give him your peace sign.
Peace.
Peace.